Let's take a look at Macrosystem's Arabesk DVD 3 software in order to author and create DVDs. We do need a couple of items on your Casablanca, and we'll check those here in System Settings. You need to have at least SmartEdit version 3.1 or above on the system, and you also need 256 megabytes of RAM in order to support the software. To check your RAM, simply left-click on your version box. It'll bring up your system information and tell you how much RAM memory you have. If you have less than 256 megabytes, contact your area dealer for information about installing and adding on the RAM. In order to activate your DVD Arabesk, we want to click on Install Product to open up this menu. At this point in the Install Product menu, you're going to want to insert your SmartEdit software card that has your DVD Arabesk piggybacked onto it, or use your current All Software CD to list DVD Arabesk. When you scroll down alphabetically, you will be looking for DVD Arabesk in version 3.0C is the current version we're working with in this video demo. To check and see if this is the latest version of Arabesk, you may want to check out our website, www.macrosystem.us, to find out the latest version of DVD Arabesk 3 to make sure you're up to date on the latest feature changes and software patches. Once you've inserted your All Software CD or your smart card with the DVD Arabesk on it, you'll see it listed here in the Install Product menu. It'll be listed as hidden first, and then you're going to want to click on Activate. When you click on Activate, a little keypad menu will appear, and at that point you can enter in the 12-digit code that was provided to you by Macrosystem or your Macrosystem dealer once you ordered your software. Enter in the 12-digit code and hit OK, and your program will become active. Make sure you do not have any previous versions of Arabesk activated in the Install Product menu. If you do have DVD Arabesk 2 or version 1 listed in here, make sure you delete those programs because you only want to be running the version 3, otherwise you might have some system conflicts. Once you hit OK, the system will ask you to eject your smart card or your CD. It'll reboot, and then when you come back to the main menu, when it boots back up and go into Finish, you'll have a new option down here in the Finish menu for your DVD Arabesk. If you had not activated Arabesk, then you will not have this button down here at the bottom, and again you would need to go into Install Product and activate the program file. Using Arabesk 3 is going to be very similar to using DVD Arabesk 2. We're still going to walk through the program in a similar nature, but first thing we want to do is talk about your projects. Back here in the Edit menu we have a little montage created, a little short wedding montage of some stills. And what we want to do is we're going to add this first montage into Arabesk to put onto a DVD. In the Finish menu, one of the first things that you may want to do before you even enter into your Arabesk is decide how much of the storyboard you wish to use to put in there. Right now, I know the montage, just for the purpose of this demo, is only a short one, around 30 seconds or so. So the first thing we want to do is choose the range of your storyboard that you wish to add to Arabesk. So under Choose Range, I'm going to set the in and the out, or the beginning and the end of the storyboard that I wish to move into Arabesk. So I'm going to left click on Out and scroll back through this montage listing here and scroll through until I find the end of the montage, which is right around here at 25 seconds. I'll use the VCR tape here to return back to the Finish menu, and you can see that you indicated that although the storyboard, the entire storyboard, is around 2 minutes in this case, I've only selected to use 25 seconds worth, and that's what's going to be put in as our first film or project into DVD Arabesk. You're going to hear us use the terms film or project interchangeably, but they basically mean the same thing, is that we're putting a particular storyboard right here into Arabesk that we want to have as an individual film on your final DVD. What we're looking at right now is the very main menu of DVD Arabesk. We have several categories here that are broken down into Creation, Info Play, and Miscellaneous. Down in the lower right is your hotkey. This would take you right back to the Finish menu. And this little guy here is going to let you eject your tray so you can pop your tray in or close your tray. This option down here we're not going to discuss. This is for an add-on package called Disk Transfer, which allows DVD Arabesk to be used as a program to save scenes from your scene bin as DV/AVI files, so that you can transfer them back and forth between Casablancas or PCs. This software is covered in one of our video manuals, which you may want to check out from Macrosystem, but we are going to skip this portion, but it is an option here when you do have disk transfer activated in the Install Product menu. The first place we're going to talk is this creation menu. It has three options here: add film, edit menu, and write DVD. We're going to kind of go through these one at a time from top to bottom. It's basically the order that you're going to work when you are using Arabesk. Clicking on add film. The add film is basically taking your storyboard, the highlighted portion of storyboard you selected in the finish menu, and moving it into DVD Arabesk. Remember that DVD Arabesk is an isolated portion of your hard drive, so that any kind of projects you move in this menu or this program, if you delete or remove them, it's not going to affect the originals back in the project settings. So do remember, this is a separate area of your hard drive. We have to take that storyboard and add it to Arabesk in order for it to function. So the first thing we have here is add film, or again, add project or add storyboard. Here we're going to say, which project would you like to work with? This allows you to actually click on select project and reach in to whatever one of these project listings you have and grab that as the one you wish to work with. Of course, if you wanted to have a specific range selected, you'd probably want to select that project first back in project settings and then set the range in the finish menu, which we've already done. And you can see it's telling you here's your project length. Image quality. Image quality is determined by the data rate or the level of compression that we set here to move your project into Arabesk. Basically, the better the image quality, the more memory is needed. So if you do select a high or a maximum quality here to get more image quality for your final product, it is going to take up more space in Arabesk. It's also going to reduce the compatibility level as it raises the data rate for playback in normal DVD players. We recommend that you set your settings to normal starting out and your audio mode for uncompressed. These are going to allow you to fit somewhere around 90 to 100 minutes based on the complexity of your video to add it into DVD Arabesk. If you had a storyboard that was around 120 minutes or 2 hours, your size approximate here might read over 100%, saying we're going to use over 100% of the space of Arabesk for your project. In order to add it then, you would either have to reduce your video quality or compress your audio in order to fit it. These are additional options that once you change these could allow you to fit additional space onto the Arabesk above 2 hours of space. Again, best settings here are normal and uncompressed to give you the best compatibility without compressing any of your audio. And this tells you how much space your current project is going to take up of Arabesk. Right now it's 1%, very small little mini project here. Free capacity is indicated how much space of Arabesk is going to be remaining when you add this project, and 99% will be available. Under the Edit Chapter menu option, this is where you're going to find a couple of new options from the Arabesk 3 for folks that are familiar with the Arabesk 2 version. When you click on Edit Chapter menu, this opens up and lists all those scenes in the storyboard of the selected film. You can see each one of these is a scene on the storyboard. In the old Arabesk 2, we would only be allowed to set up a chapter point for each scene on the storyboard, which means that when the disc played back in someone's DVD player, it would only allow you to use your remote control to skip to these certain points on the DVD, just like if you were playing a CD and each one of these scenes were kind of like a song. But the new Arabesk 3 offers you a couple of other items. In addition to undoing your chapters if you set a start chapter point on these scenes, we have two new options here to edit the chapter menu or set up every single scene in the list to become a chapter. Just by left-clicking the Scenes to Chapter button, what it'll do is look at the list of scenes that you have in this project and make a chapter point for each and every one of them. If you don't wish this to be the way you want your disc, then you can simply undo a chapter and come down the list and undo any one that you don't want to be a chapter point.